would you feel if I said I wanted to make a deal with you? And the deal is, I will give you one of my baby dolls for two of your Barbie dolls.
I wouldn't think that's fair.
Exactly. You would wonder if that's really a deal.
Because if I gave you 2 Barbie dolls, then you gotta give me 2 baby dolls.
Exactly. So a deal should be fair, right? Okay. Well, in this story, a deal is a deal. Rabbit approaches Bear with a deal. He wants to make a deal. But in fact, we will discover throughout the story, Bear starts wondering if his deals are really a deal. And if it's reasonable. And
He'll take it.
yeah.
But if it's not, he won't.
Okay. So, A Deal is a Deal by Adrian Betts, illustrated by Vincent Andrini. A deal is a deal. Bear had a farm, but he didn't like to grow things. Each day he sat on his porch. He played his horn. He rocked back and forth. If only I had some money, he sighed. Then I could leave this farm. I could go up north and see New York City. One spring day, Rabbit came to Bear's farm. His boots were worn out. His jeans were old and torn. Hi there, Rabbit sang out. Today is your lucky day, he told Bear. My name is Rabbit, and I know a great way to make money. Bear stopped playing his horn. He almost stopped rocking back and forth. Come on up to the porch, Bear said. Have a slice of pie and tell me your plan. For a long time, Rabbit did not say a word. He just ate and ate. At last, he put down his fork and started to talk. I can't work on your farm. I can work on your farm, Rabbit told Bear. We can grow some crops. Bear snorted. I don't know much about crops, and I'm planning a trip to New York. I don't have time to help you. You don't need to do any work, said Rabbit. I'll give you my word. I'll plant the seeds and grow the crops. I'll pick them when they are ripe. Then I'll give you half of what I grow. We can each sell what we get for cash. Rabbit held out his paw. Half for you and half for me. Do we have a deal? He asked. Bear said. Not so fast. The land is mine, so I should get the best half. What on top must be the best. I'll take the top half of the crops you grow. Rabbit agreed. Okay, the top half for you and the bottom half for me. If that's what you want, that's what you'll get. Bear played some happy notes on his horn. It's a deal, he said. I'll see you in the morning. As soon as the sun came up, Rabbit started to work. He pulled out weeds and cut down thorns. Then Rabbit planted some seeds. Bear rocked back and forth on the porch. He put down his horn. I'm worn out from watching you work. Bear called to Rabbit. I'm going to take it out. Spring turned into summer. Each day the plants grew. Rabbit made sure the hot sun did not scorch the little plants. Bear made sure he kept cool by drinking lots of iced tea. Hey, Rabbit, Bear called from the porch. Are you sure those plants are okay? I don't see any beans or cotton growing. Rabbit smiled. That's because I'm not growing beans or cotton, he said. At the end of the summer, it was time to pick the crop. Rabbit pulled the plants one by one. Here you go, Bear, he said. What's this? Asked Bear. Just like we agreed, said Rabbit. You get the tops, that's all these nice leaves. And I get the bottoms, that's all these sweet fat yams. But, said Bear. A deal is a deal, said Rabbit, and off he went to sell his yams. Spring came around and it was time to plant again. Rabbit stopped by to see Bear. Can we make another deal? He asked. You tricked me last time, but you can't do it again, Bear said. I just gave you what you asked for, Rabbit told him. Now I'm still willing to do all of the work, but this time I'll give you more than half of the crop. You can have the tops and the bottoms of the plants. Well, then what would you get? Bear asked. Rabbit smiled. I'll just take what's left over, he said. I'll take the stuff in the middle. It's a deal, said Bear. The next day, Rabbit planted some seeds. For weeks, he watched over the plants. One morning, a big storm came. The wind wailed and lots of rain fell on the plants. Rabbit used poles and cord to keep the tall plants safe. Bear came down from the porch. What are those poles for? Are you sure you know what you're doing? He yelled over. I'm sure, answered Rabbit. I'm very sure. Rabbit and Bear set off for the market. Rabbit's corn was easy to sell. He made lots and lots of money. No one wanted Bear's roots or tassels. Rabbit counted all his money. Want to make a deal? He said to Bear. No, said Bear. Look, Bear, said Rabbit. I like to grow crops, but you don't. Why don't you just sell me your farm? You could take all this money and go to New York. Is this a real deal? Asked Bear. A deal is a deal, said Rabbit. Put it there, said Bear. The two shook hands. Rabbit was very, very happy, and so, at last, was Bear. So as we discovered with Rabbit and Bear, in the beginning, Bear was convinced that he was actually getting half. He was getting half of everything.
But he got the tops of the carrots. And the bottoms was for Rabbit because he eats carrots and Bear doesn't know how to plant, so he gets the tops. That's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
I get the tops.
Mm-hmm.
And the second part where Rabbit said I get the tops and the bottoms, he meant the leaves and the roots.
Exactly. But
And the middle was for Rabbit. I don't think how Bear isn't getting any carrots, and he keeps asking, and then finally at last, Rabbit makes a real deal where he says, "What I know about crops. Why don't you just sell me your farm? You can take all this money and go to New York City."
So actually, in the first two situations, it
they
was
weren't doing a real
it
deal.
was not a real deal. But then in the end, Rabbit finally agreed to a real deal, and they both got what they wanted. So, do you think that when you ask somebody to make a deal that you should be fair? Do
Yeah.
you think that's nice? I do too. I think Rabbit and Bear made a fair deal at the end. So the lesson we've learned is what?
Sometimes a deal is not a deal, but sometimes it is.
And which one would you rather do? Would you rather have a fair deal
A fair
or
deal.
an unfair deal?
A fair deal.
Yeah, I think a fair deal is much better. And as we've seen, in a deal is a deal. A deal is only a deal when it's
Even.
100% fair, even. Exactly right, Kayla. And I thank you for your time for listening to the story. A deal is a deal. Thank you.